Hey folks, this is Youngblood Fantasy 92, and this is the first in a line of some videos that I'm about to make concerning, some of the things that have been bugging me over the past 2 or 3 weeks. The first thing that has started to bug me are the fangirls. Now, I've already talked about the fangirls and fanboys in the Sonic Fantards rant, but I'm going to go into a more detailed and in-depth description of them. Now, fangirls have formed these obsessive compulsive disorders over certain characters. I mean, it's serious. I believe that they have unwanted repetitive thoughts all day long about the character, fantasizing about marrying it, or much worse, having sex with the character and having children with the character. Now, here's a big flaw in their logic. The character is a 2D, two-dimensional, mind you, character with a height and a width, but no depth. No depth means that it doesn't exist in the real world. It's a creation of a bunch of guys, whether maybe Japanese or American, and they have decided to place them in a storyline and decided to place them with other characters and decided to place them in an interactive setting where the characters interact and the characters do whatever they feel like. Conquering the forces of evil or eating potato chips, whichever. Either way, it's what's happening. But it seems the fangirls love to stray from the storyline because they think it's so easy to do. I mean, forming obsessions with certain characters. For instance, Raito from Bleach. Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who obsess over him. I mean, the obsessions I don't mind too much with human characters such as L, Raito, other characters some Bleach and all that stuff, and Naruto, Naruto, Sasuke. I mean, I can understand that. They're like 2D people. They're people. That's the operative word here. They're people. But what I don't like is that when they form these obsessions, they have to either be friends with them or boyfriends, or if they're fangirls, or best buddies if they're guys. And here's the thing: if people say one thing, if there's something called constructive criticism. I mean, everyone needs to take constructive criticism at one point, otherwise they're a pussy. Now, if you say constructive criticism about their beliefs to the fangirls, they are gonna throw a fit. They are gonna throw, the worst fit anyone has ever seen. They'll probably defend their character, say the character is hotter than you, and all that garbage. Not only that, but they're defending a two-dimensional character that doesn't exist. So it's ironic that they're spending their whole lives trying to make friends with a character that doesn't exist in real life. Doesn't that give you a hint, or doesn't that give you an indication of what their life is? I don't want to get into that, but think about it for a second. And here's something much, much worse. You know that I'm a Sonic fan, right? Now, you probably heard this 1 bazillion times, but I'm going to say this right now. Sonic fangirls usually form obsessions with certain characters. Now, here's what I really think is wrong with that. These are anthropomorphic characters. They are anthropomorphic characters. These are characters that are also two-dimensional, that they don't exist, but they are animals. They're animals that can talk. And they form obsessions with them. Now, they think they're sexy. Sexy! They think that, they're sexual objects, or they're sexual, they go into a state of arousal when they see them. And by the way, that's pretty creepy if you're jacking off to anthropomorphic animals. Most of the reasons why people attack furries, and I don't attack furries, but some people attack furries because some of the furries actually form sexual relations with Sonic characters. And that's just not right. It's not right. It just isn't. Any ethical person would say that it's not right. It isn't. And while they go on fantasizing about the character and thinking about having sex with it, not only that, but they're pairing them with yaoi. Now, yaoi I don't mind too much, as long as the fangirls keep their distance. But they have yaoi of Sonic and Shadow, and they have yaoi of Sonic and Tails. What really disgusts me is that Tails is underage. And Sonic is below the age of consent. Well, in my state, the age of consent is 16, and he's 15. I mean, that's just plain wrong. And it's yaoi. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Here's something fangirls has got to understand. Not everything they say is correct. That's why there's such a thing as mistakes and errors. But people learn from their mistakes. I mean, there are certain fangirls out there who are actually very reasonable, as I said before. Some fangirls actually, keep their distance. They like the characters, but they don't form obsessions over them. They don't, go crazy over them. They don't, form romantic ties to characters that don't even exist. It's just, inconceivable to think that you would fall in love with, Elle from Bleach. But that's how a fangirl thinks. And I want to bring up a psychological point. In social interactions, there's such a thing called conformity. Conformity is, imitating what other people think so that you maybe seem to fit into a group. But there are two vocab words that go with fangirls in psychology: conformity and a in-group bias. Now, what do these two mean? Well, I already told you what conformity means, so why did I say that? Why I said that, I have no idea. But in the vein of conformity, they want people to act like they do and believe that their opinion is right. So they want people to conform. They're the agent or catalyst to make people conform. And this is why it's called that's why there's fascism. That's why it's called fascism. They force people. They take the mind of someone. They abridge it to the point where their ideas are right. So they're limiting free thinking, and they're limiting what people think. That goes against the Constitution, and that is fascism. Now, when I say in-group bias, I mean that they tend to favor their own group over others. So they tend to favor themselves as they are the top gun around here. They think they're so awesome. They like a character, and they're just gonna go out with the character, and nothing's gonna stop them. Sooner or later, they're gonna come across criticism, and you know what they do? They break down. It's just completely retarded. So what I want fangirls to do is to cool their hormones a bit and learn to accept criticism for the way it is. Because everyone's been criticized. Newton's been criticized. His law, Newton's laws, he was proven wrong by, Leibniz. He was proven wrong. That's pretty much all I gotta say. To you fangirls, I suggest you calm the hell down and, if you want to like characters, that's completely alright, but I don't want you forming romantic relationships with characters, especially yaoi pairings, because that's just, pretty sick. And, that's about the end of my rant, everybody. Stay tuned for more rants as my, ranting nature progresses. Thank you for watching, everybody, and please comment.